looking at you. So I'm crazy. Won't you bend that back for me? We won't stop. Got your feet both locked. You get to fly with me. Heaven is feeling not far away. How can we fall in love for a day? I want to fall in love, baby, just for the night. Just for the night. Heaven is feeling not far away. How can we fall in love for a day? I want to fall in love, baby, just for the night. Just for the night.
Even zien of het goed doorkomt. Dan stuur je een berichtje op WhatsApp als het orde is. Eén, 2, 3, nog eens een kleine test. Dat alles een beetje smooth is.
As the innovation department at Partena, we see a lot of possibilities to innovate at the firm. We often have clients, employers who need help with dismissal in their firm. Since it was a manual process where we used Excel, there were a lot of mistakes or data that weren't complete.
This process could be optimized, but they didn't have the knowledge or the means to do this themselves. Here in this case we built Louise in 3 months.
takes a piece out of our hearts. So I'll run away, away into the darkest parts of me. I need a change desperately. I thought love was a lost art till you showed me some sanctuary. Now I never wanna let you go, never gonna let you go until we're both on souls running out for love. You were there with open arms when I thought love was a lost art. When I thought love was a lost art. Empty halls, running with my eyes shut. If I fall, I'm not sure I can get up. So I'll find a way to stand until the light of day. I need a change desperately. I thought love was a lost art till you showed me some sanctuary. Now I never wanna let you go, never gonna let you go until we're both on souls running out for love. You were there with open arms when I thought love was a lost art. If I slowly retrace, I remember days I was locked in gray and all the wild shades swim in my veins. You took them all away. There's nothing left to say. I thought I was a lost art till you showed me some sanctuary. Now I never wanna let you go, never gonna let you go until we're both on souls running out for love. Open arms when I thought love was a lost art. You were there with open arms when I thought love was a lost art. Call me up when you're sober, when you've showered and changed. You give it up like it's over, but never give it away. And I don't wanna fall for you this time. I can't find the truth in all the lies. If I could, I would, believe me. If I could, I would need you. I don't wanna fall for you this time. Call me up when you're sober, when you've showered and changed. You give it up like it's over, but never give it away. And I don't wanna fall for you this time. I can't find the truth in all the lies. If I could, I would, believe me. If I could, I would need you. I don't wanna fall for you this time. Feel uninvited. Left home in West LA. I'm not excited. So uninspired. On my way to play the bay while you're alone. This girl's a wonder. She loves me, yeah, she needs to know I love her. I wonder if we'll make it through this summer. Just wanna touch like back when we were younger. Yeah. Why don't you love me, love me, love me? Touch me, touch me, touch me no more. Why don't you love me, love me, love me? Touch me, touch me, touch me no more. Love me, love me, love me. Touch me, touch me, touch me. Love me, love me, love me. Touch me, touch me, touch me. I'm so divided, starstruck, but hate has got some indecisive. I'm over fighting. I just can't wake up cold and sleep alone. This boy's some trouble. When he's around, my problems seem like double. His stupid eyes put me on ice, so no, no. Don't slow me down, don't wanna do this solo. Why don't you love me, love me, love me? Touch me, touch me, touch me no more. Why don't you love me, love me, love me? Touch me, touch me, touch me no more. Love me, love me, love me. Touch me, touch me, touch me. Love me, love me, love me. Touch me, touch me, touch me. I can't help myself, you're a drug to me. I just can't get enough. I know this is love, so come close to me while we're still young. Why don't you love me, love me, love me? Touch me, touch me, touch me no more. Why don't you love me, love me, love me? Touch me, touch me, touch me no more. Love me, love me, love me. Touch me, touch me, touch me, touch me, touch me, touch me, touch me. Love me, love me, love me. Touch me, touch me, touch me, touch me, touch me, touch me, touch me.
I get lost inside my thoughts, and when I start to think, oh, the Tahoe close, it starts to end up on the brink. I tried so hard, but all these scars, they cut so deep, I bleed. I fell so fast from heaven, it's like someone clipped my wings. Now I'm falling, and I can't see the ground. Can we stop this gravity? It keeps bringing me down. I can't breathe, and I don't wanna die. Can we stop this gravity? 'Cause I don't wanna say goodbye. I forgive the pain you gave to me so long ago. Sleepless nights I laid awake just begging to let go. I almost got
Hate it when you leave. Didn't leave a thing. You had it out on me, making me feel so cold. Afraid made you feel so good. Did you ever think we were ever a thing? 'Cause you don't make me feel so good. I don't mean to be, don't mean to be rude, but did you ever think when you left me? When you're so alone, were you ever free? 'Cause everybody knows how you've been feeling lonely. You wasted all my time thinking you would see. She ever made you feel like you're always wanted? Like you made me feel, you made me feel. I just made you feel so good. 'Cause you don't make me feel so good. I don't mean to be, don't mean to be rude, but I just made you feel so good. I don't mean to be, don't mean to be rude, but did you ever think when you left me?
Tell me you love me. I had enough of this fall apart. I don't want to be at this start. Tell me you love me. You got the antidote to my heart. Take me for a ride, I wanna see inside, baby, a paradise. 'Cause there's a virus in my pain, sending signals out to my brain, but I'm used to it. And see how can I reside in a place like mine? It'd be suicide. So won't you bear me an audience to sit by your throne? No, I won't get too comfortable till I hear you moan. Tell me you love me. Tell me you love me. I had enough of this fall apart. I don't want to be at this start. Tell me you love me. Tell me you love me. You got the antidote to my heart. Driving 95
justify, but I can't escape the truth, even though I'm trying. You do your part and lie to me. Tell me you need this, dress me in gold, raise me so high your sins become my pedestal. Wish I believed it, a shame that I don't. I've heard it before and change, I know you won't. You lie to me, cross your heart and die for me, never laid an eye on another. Dark sugar sweet, but when you stop, all I see is just a fraud full of nothing other than la 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 la. Your story misaligns, it's not holding water. I try to mind the rain, but you're making quite the mess, bringing stormy weather. Just do your part and lie to me. Tell me you need this, dress me in gold, raise me so high your sins become my pedestal. Wish I believed it, a shame that I don't. I've heard it before and change, I know you won't. You lie to me, cross your heart and die for me, never laid an eye on another. Dark sugar sweet, but when you stop, all I see is just a fraud full of nothing other than la la la. Lie to me, tell me you need this. Lie to me, dress me in gold. Lie to me, raise me so high your sins become my pedestal. Lie to me, I wish there were insights breaking the surface. I know that I shouldn't love the way you lie. Lie to me, tell me you need this, dress me in gold, raise me so high your sins become my pedestal. Wish I believed it, a shame that I don't. I've heard it before and change, I know you won't. You lie to me, cross your heart and die for me, never laid an eye on another. Dark sugar sweet, but when you stop, all I see is just a fraud full of nothing other than la la la. Lie to me, 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 lie to me.
I don't know how I keep myself from falling down. I don't know how I'm still standing on the ground. I don't know why you keep wishing for me to change. I don't know how I keep myself from falling down. I don't know how I'm still standing on the ground. I don't know why you keep wishing for me to change. Everybody want me to change. Everybody want me to. Everybody want me to change. I don't feel like changing who I am. I don't wanna live my life for someone else. Tearing up my soul to make you pleased. I don't wanna be a ghost in your chains. I don't know how I keep myself from falling down. I don't know how I'm still standing on the ground. I don't know why you keep wishing for me to change. You keep wishing for me to change.
wanna get crazy with you. Wanna get crazy. Wanna get crazy. Let's go do something dangerous. Chase the rush of the wind now, baby. Let's not think about tomorrow. We're here for the endless fun tonight. Push the start, no key. Fix your eyes on me. Pacing 105 in the midnight sky. Show me all the thrill, everything you will. Does this mean we're alive? Are we alive? I just wanna get crazy with you. Lose the time in the city lights out. Race you down another risky wild ride. Take me for a spin, I might let you in. I wanna get crazy. I wanna get crazy with you. I wanna get crazy. I wanna get crazy. Found all your clothes under the bed near the bottles I broke, 'cause you took her home. I don't have to ask, 'cause I know how it goes. You're holding her close, hands in her hair, and you're taking it slow. You hate that I know. You hate that I know. I'll stay awake every night 'cause it hurts how I miss you. But I stay when you treat me rough. Hold my breath, but it's not enough. I've been so anchored in loving you, I forgot how to leave when you treat me rough. How to breathe in this drowning love. How to breathe in this drowning love. Found your cologne. Reminds me of Greece when you loved me the most. It's too hard to cope. Remember the nights that we spent on the coast. I held on to hope, 'cause I didn't know you would leave me alone. You're watching me go. You're watching me go. I'll stay awake every night 'cause it hurts how I miss you. But I stay when you treat me rough. Hold my breath, but it's not enough. I've been so anchored in loving you, I forgot how to leave when you treat me rough. How to breathe in this drowning love. How to breathe in this drowning love.
Running wild out in the street. Skate decks, Wu-Tang, and the aim and beat. Everybody's got a Mickey in the sagged out jeans, puffing smoke like a fiend. Chasing dreams. Mama was alone at the rental home. Daddy was as cold as the northern pole. Everybody's got their pills on the bathroom shelf, trying to find themselves. Chasing dreams. Running heartbroken home. I'm gonna get till I'm not a breath, till I am the best, till I get the last. Well, I guess that's Superman, Superman, down in the crowd. Rock shows never close when they underground. Everybody's hiding X in the retro vest. Glow sticks around their necks, chasing dreams. 16 learned a lot about paying rent. 17 learned a lot about losing friends. Everybody's chopping chalk by the bathroom sink. They say I'm missing things, chasing dreams. Running heartbroken home. I'm gonna get that gold.
Till I am the best. Till I get the last. Well, I guess that's Superman. Till I am the best. Till I get the last. Well, I guess that's Superman.
If I had to risk it all to put an S on my chest, yeah. Throw it all down, no question. Send me on my way to the good light. Take me higher.
Till I'm out of breath. Till I am the best. Till I get the last. Well, I guess that's Superman. Till I'm out of breath. Till I am the best. Till I get the last. Well, I guess that's Superman.
I got used to lonely nights and empty spaces. Didn't think I'd need someone to do my saving. I was always running 20-something. Never found the right hands to put my trust in. Help me, I'm scared that there'll be nothing better. Tell me we can feel this way forever. Your eyes are staring back at me. Don't let me crash them into deep. Help me, tell me that you'll be my remedy. Tell me that you'll be my
that we have, let's get through it. We were so good, let's resume it. Maybe on the night we can prove it. We can prove it. Baby, we can do it. Issues that we have, let's get through it. We were so good, let's resume it. Maybe on the night we can prove it. Something's weighing heavy. Created too much pressure, this ain't healthy. We were all good, love was plenty. Now look at the cards, love has stabbed me. Love has stabbed me. Baby, we can do it. Issues that we have, let's get through it. We were so good, let's resume it. Maybe on the night we can prove it. We can prove it. We were so good, let's resume it. Maybe on the night we can prove it.
In the distance, you're moving closer. Oh, no resistance. You're taking over. I can't seem to look away. I'm losing track of time and space. Caught in a hypnotic state. 'Cause I'm lost in the way you move. Lost in the way you move. 'Cause I'm lost in the way you move. 'Cause I'm lost in the way you move. Whoa, yeah. Whoa, 'cause I'm lost in the way you move. In the shadow, I've been waiting. Lost in your glow, the light is fading. Tell me what I should do. Totally entranced by you. Tell me that you feel it too. I can't seem to look away. I'm losing track of You won't be missed. I don't miss you, I don't miss you.
It ain't that simple. You try to make things seem so superficial, and I won't have it. Why are you lying? Acting like you're innocent. I see you trying to work your magic, and I know that I fell for it in the past, but now I'm stronger than I was before. Yeah, I know that I fell for it in the past, but now I'm stronger. I'm stronger, stronger than I was before. Stronger than I was before. So what's the problem? I got mine, you got yours, everybody's got them. I'm just saying, for your information, you ain't gonna get an explanation. You won't. And I know that I fell for it in the past, but now I'm stronger than I was before. Yeah, I know that I fell for it in the past, but now I'm stronger. I'm stronger, stronger than I was before. Stronger than I was before. It is simple.
Where you go when it's midnight? The adrenaline is up high. I guess this is what it feels like. What true love feels like. Nobody knows where this will go, but all I know is I need your touch tonight. 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 When the sun comes up.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this webinar, Ask an Expert Chatbots. Well, we're very glad to have you all today joining us. Just to give some small introduction also, my name is Sami, a managing partner at Arinti. And as we're going to look today, what are chatbots, what they can help you in your organization, what are pitfalls, and we have some couple of questions that we received that we will discuss. Now, to help you out a little bit, on the side of the video you see a chat window. If you have any questions during the program, don't hesitate to use the chat there. I follow up the chat, and if there's questions that I can answer immediately, I will do. Otherwise, it will be off at the end of the webinar. Great, so we can kick off, and well, we're going to talk about chatbots, but let's have a little introduction first about chatbots. What do they actually do, and what are they, and how do they work? Now, chatbots are actually just application, just like any other developers can build, but the main difference is that they sorry, I need to play with my slides, that they work on language. We see here a little picture of someone who asks about a bike. Okay, a bike can have many different meanings. You have a bike for children, you have a bike with only one wheel, you have a bike where you can cycle with two people on, and then you have an actual normal bike where even there we have many different ones, mountain bikes, racing bikes, and so on. So that's one of the main difference. We need to understand language to be able for the application to do its work. Then of course the second part is the UI, how it looks and how it interacts with human. The picture we see is a classic example of a chat window, the same as you see here also in the webinar portal. So the main is again text, but even if we talk about a voice bot, so like an Alexa's home speaker, which is actually also a chatbot in the backend, there we will use the voice, translate it into text, and then it will be used. So that's just one layer on top of a chatbot. Now you might ask yourself, okay, chatbots, are they so new? Well, to be honest, they're quite old already. It's already in the 70s where the first chatbot was built, and that was called Eliza. And Eliza was built by Joseph Weizenbaum, and he was a professor at MIT, and sadly enough, he left us in 2008. Now, Eliza was built to mimic human conversations, and it tried to match words in your message to a list of possible scripted resources. And that whole idea of thinking, of linking, had a big impact on how we are looking now at NLP, natural language processing. Now, the funny thing is that Joseph Weizenbaum intended that Eliza would be a caricature of human conversations. But people were actually telling their thoughts and problems to Eliza, since it was built as some kind of psychologist. Now, then experts declared that chatbots would be indistinguishable from humans within a small number of years. We're not there yet. Let's be open about that. There's still a lot of work to make chatbots super smart and being able to answer on all kinds of questions. Now, there's always the Turing test, which says that, well, we'll test if a chatbot, how capable it is of thinking like a human. Now, to go a little bit more in depth on the technical side, there are two important systems, and there's natural language processing and there's natural language understanding. Now let's go first into the first one, natural language processing. Now imagine we're building a chatbot for an airliner, say a chatbot for Brussels Airlines, and you ask the chatbot, I want to book a flight. Now from there onwards, we need to understand that the human wants to book a flight. Okay, nothing difficult about that. From there onwards, we might go to a conversation where extra questions might be asked to get to go over the full process. Now, as a human, we might also say, I want to book a flight to New York. Now we need to understand, I want to book a flight, but it also needs to understand where you want to go to. That's what we call an intent. That's what the process that we want to start. And then we have an entity, which in this case, in the example, is JFK. Okay, and I just see there's something wrong here with my screen, so let me quickly fix that. That should be better. Now, we can even go further and have, I want to book a flight from Brussels to New York. Now we have multiple entities, which are the same. It's an airport, but they have multiple roles. We have the from and we have the to. That could be in different ways. If we think about then a chatbot for a pizza restaurant, you might have, I don't want onions, but I want pepperoni. And so these are entities, ingredients, but one you want and one you don't want. Next one is even adding extra entities to it. I want to book a flight tomorrow to Seattle. Oh, I wish I could. Now, in this case, we have tomorrow, which is our date that we want to make use of, and we know where we want to go to. Now, out of this one sentence, we have three important details that we want to reuse in our chatbot. To go back, how chatbots works. It's linking words to each other and finding a logic in it, and then use that to start a flow, just like in classic programming. Now, this is the natural language processing part. Being able to detect certain things out of your text. Now, language understanding. Language understanding, we're going to make connection between words to be able to figure out what the user actually means. We see in this little example the relations between a male, female, a man, a woman, a king, a queen. Those relations are the same. Now it could as well go as on verbs. Walking, walked, I swim, swimming, swam. These are all the same words, but they're related to each other. Now we can even go further, where here we're really working on the same, somehow the same word. But what about relations, for example, between a country and a capital? Let's say I'm looking for books about Spain. Well, now this is in a search context. Well, then Madrid, if there's books about Madrid, well, they will be interesting also to you. So all these kinds of elements, these are generated by modern NLP models that already exist, but that you can retrain, so add more of your own data to make it smart and to be able to make it work in your own organization. Now, let's go to one of the first questions that we received. I ordered them a little bit in a way that they make sense. And the first one is, do I actually need technical skills to build a chatbot? If I'm going to say no at all, then I'm lying. There's always going to be some little technical skills that you need to build even the easiest chatbot. Now, as a Microsoft Gold partner, we of course work only with the best tools, the Microsoft tools, and within there are 3 different ways of building chatbots. And the first one is the Power Virtual Agent. You might have now known of Power Flows, Power Automate, Power BI. These are all part of the tools that Microsoft built for business people with technical knowledge. Power Virtual Agent is a very nice tool where you can already do a lot in very short time. It's a software as a service. So it's a SaaS product. So there's nothing that you need to set up yourself except, of course, the paying. But that we will discuss later on. Now, because it's very highly built for business users, there are limitations. Now, since last year, Microsoft worked also on a more technical version of the bot framework. Oh. And this one is called Bot Framework Composer. Now, with the Composer, you could say it's a little bit like the Power Virtual Agent, but it's way more extended. And there's some more technical details that you can fine-tune to go on. If you want to go full blast technical code, well, then we always have the Bot Framework SDK, which is available in many different languages like C#, Java, Node.js, and so on. So the language you prefer, I'm quite sure it's available to build chatbots in. Now, the good thing is, things that are not possible in Power Virtual Agent could be done in Bot Framework Composer. Now, what you've built in Bot Framework Composer, you can load into Power Virtual Agent. And the same thing for Bot Framework SDK. So if you have really advanced integrations with systems, then you might need to build it in Bot Framework Composer. This could be done by one of your developers, or you can, of course, talk to us about that. It can be used as an element that can be used in the Composer. So if you don't have that XP's coding knowledge, you can import it into Composer and then you can work further on that. Same thing, what's in Composer can be linked into the Power Virtual Agent. Now, of course, the main question also we've seen now, okay, you don't need so much technical knowledge depending on how hard the integration will be, but what kind of profiles do you actually need to start a chatbot project? As I said before, it will all depend on how enhanced your chatbot is, how much integrations need to be done with internal systems or external services. But it's always very important to have a good connection with your business people, the people who know what is going on within your organization or what customers asking or what they need to do. And then you can, of course, go forward with also, for example, UI experts to build nice dialogues, but also to make it visually nice if you want to integrate it on your website, for example. Then we come to where do we actually start? How do we start a chatbot project? Well, it's not so difficult. You can, of course, just go with the flow and try things out. But with Arinti, we always start with a workshop. Because we notice that many people think about a chatbot that it's very, very smart and it can do everything immediately. But that's things that come clear during our workshop. And then also, you need the kind of chatbot you want to build. Is it a chatbot that you want to use for external purposes, to talk to your customers or to your partners? Or is it a chatbot that you want to use internally, what we see more often, to automate certain processes, even answer common questions or reduce waiting time? So there's many different things, and by brainstorming about that with a team of some technical people, but mostly business people, and then of course an expert, you will be able to build something that works and has extra value for your organization or for your customers. For your customers, it means, of course, more customer satisfaction, which is better for your organization also. Now, what are some real life examples? Well, just to give you a couple of sentences already, answering common questions, even sending pictures or videos or documents to a chatbot that is needed to start the process, filling in automated templates by the information that has been received. We will look into one of that later on. Giving personal advice because you know exactly who you're talking to. If you do integrate a chatbot, for example, on Facebook Messenger, on WhatsApp, Skype, even on Teams, then you know who you're talking to and you can give perfect information that only fits for them. What is also possible is real-time human takeover. There might be times that your chatbot doesn't understand what the human is saying. It's good to say, for example, 3 times, I don't understand what you want. Can you please explain me in a different way? You could do that 3 times in a row, but after that, or when the human actually, when the human or your customer or your employee actually says, I want to talk to a human, well, then you need to do a takeover. And that's also perfectly possible, for example, to Teams or to fresh desk chat opportunities and so on. Another example we've had for a customer was for sales generation. Now, you might have a chatbot that is answering questions about a specific topic, but you are the expert in that topic. And of course, you might give them advice for maybe 3 questions. But for the 4th question, you would want to say, okay, I can offer you more information about that, but please leave your details and we will contact you further. You generate sales opportunities that you can use for within your organization. And then if you talk more about internal processes, but also for your customers, is just to automate administrative processes. Now, within Arinti, we've already done a couple of use cases. I'll start on the bottom. We have for the Kronos group, Arinti is part of the Kronos group. And there we've built a chatbot for our, I was going to say it in Dutch, a wagenpark. It's like for the people who maintain the cars within the organization. And you can imagine Kronos is a company with over 5,000 employees. So many times questions come like, where are my tires? When do I need to go for maintenance? What is my budget for a new car? And so onwards. All these kinds of questions are now integrated within a chatbot. So Kronos employees can just ask them to chatbot. From there onwards, it's calling specific services to check where their tires are, when it's needed for maintenance, when they need to bring their car back, and so on. With Socialistische Mutualiteit, which is a healthcare insurance, we built a chatbot. We started with questions about pregnancy. What documents do I need to fill in, and so on. And so based on an analysis of real-time live chat with human to human, we figured out what documents are actually what questions are actually very important. And based on that, we could generate a chatbot which can answer those extra questions. Now they're already extending this question list, but also different subjects to help their customers more. We did a small project also for our federal government here in Belgium, where we discussed mostly topics for embassies. And so every embassy could have their own chatbot with specific questions to their location. For Stad Kortrijk, we're building a chatbot at the moment which will help their their citizens with many different questions. Europe Assistance then was a totally different project, which were a voice bot. Now with a voice bot, the idea was to call your Europe Assistance when you have, for example, a flat tire, but instead of waiting in the queue, the voice bot will already start asking you specific questions. For example, where are you? What's your number plate? And so on. And based on that, once it's your turn to talk to a human, they already have all that information, and the process can go much smoother. A year ago, we sadly went to a lockdown. We had some little big virus going out, and therefore of course, the coronavirus, started building chatbots specifically for COVID. And so it's a small chatbot that was implemented in 6 different hospitals, where patients or just citizens who live around the hospital could go through a bunch of questions, and then the chatbot will tell them, okay, now it's time to go to the hospital, or you need to go check with your doctor for a test, and so onwards. For City of Roeselare, we're building a chatbot again also for their citizens, where the chatbot can answer over 700 questions. So it's nothing small. Then we have Partena. To show you what Partena does, I will just show a small video that will discuss this.
As the innovation department at Partena, we see a lot of possibilities to innovate at the firm. We often have clients, employers who need help with the dismissal in their firm. Since it was a manual process where we used Excel, there were a lot of mistakes or data that weren't complete.
This process could be optimized, but they didn't have the knowledge or the means to do this themselves. Here in this case we built Louise in 3 months, and shortly after the release they already saw return on investment on the product.
This was our first step in the use of chatbot technology, and we weren't really assured of the fact that it would mean something to us. We were able to test, and if it was nothing or it wouldn't deliver the added value to us that we expected, then we could stop as well. And that's why we chose Arinti, because they were young, they were flexible, and they were going the extra mile for us.
Investing in AI gives you the opportunity to take the knowledge of one person and distribute it over a large scale within your company.
The chatbot story doesn't really make it unpersonal. It makes it more personal, actually. If you can avoid the administration, the paperwork, then you can focus on the human-to-human contact. What are you going to do next? Your next step? How can I help you to do a job, for example? Everywhere you have a client-facing or a human interaction today, I'm convinced that for the tasks, for the administration, automate that through chat, through artificial intelligence, that it will kill jobs. It means that you will augment the level of maturity of your people. You give them challenges, you let them grow in their job. You don't numb them with repetitive things like administration.
There's always a sort of turning point where people realize, okay, I'm here to stay, I'm going nowhere, and this technology is actually helping me with my job. People started saying, oh, let us use Louise, or we're going to ask Louise, or we've really integrated her as a part of our little team. So that was nice to have these kind of reactions.
To be able to work with companies like Partena to build chatbots that really have an impact on the organization. Now, a question we often get also, do you have bad examples of chatbots? Well, funny enough, yesterday we received an email from one of our customers who was sending a transcript he had with a chatbot, where you actually really notice that the chatbot doesn't understand a thing, which is very sad. First of all, you say good morning to the chatbot, and the chatbot says, okay, we're closed at the moment, please try again. But if you're a chatbot, you shouldn't be closed, you're 24/7 open. Again, a sentence was, my address is wrong, how can I change this? Again, the chatbot says, I don't understand you, please answer my last question first. So also there, the chatbot can't be interrupted, which is not a good case. We can go to question number 5. Can I keep track of how good the chatbot works? Very good question and very important. It's not because you think that a chatbot works that your customers think that they work. Now, just by making use of the Power Virtual Agent, they already have standard monitoring in place. For Bot Framework Compose and Bot Framework SDK, with Arinti, we've built specific monitoring for that, to see when is what understood, was it actually the correct thing, and what do I need to do to make that understandable. So that's all in place to be able to maintain your chatbot. But that brings us, of course, to another question. Maintenance costs money and other different things. Now, we can split up the cost of a chatbot in 3 different elements. We have our development cost, our maintenance cost, and our recurring cost. Now, let's talk first about development cost. You can build actually a chatbot in 1 day. Is it going to do a lot? No. The more or more enhancements you want in your chatbot, the more time it will cost. If you want to call many external services to get data possible. But for example, a simple question answer chatbot that as a business you say we will do the maintenance and we will train it, which is not that hard. Of course, we can help you with that. You can do it in, let's say, 5 days and have a nice setup already. Maintenance cost, well, in this case, it's mostly following up the monitoring and figuring out what is going on. So you can edit, maybe add some extra training data, which is all done in visual UIs. Again, there's no technical knowledge for that needed. But that can be done, of course, by the company you choose to build a chatbot, but it can also be done by the business people. Then we have our recurring cost, which is actually the cost of server infrastructure, for example. Now, that again depends from the service that you choose and also on how many users you will have on your chatbot. To give you an example of Power Virtual Agent, Power Virtual Agent costs $1,000 per month for 2,000 conversations. If you want to go up, you need to go in higher tiers, but that's a software as a service and there's nothing to do about that price. Or it's if you have discounts, of course. But then we have Bot Framework Composer and Bot Framework Framework. There we use the Azure portal, the Azure services of Microsoft, where we have different services that we will use. Now there it's mostly depend on how many people that are needed, how many people are consuming our chatbots, and based on that we will be able to fine-tune all the costs. Keep in mind that the minimum cost is around $250 per month to have a chatbot that responds fast enough for a nice amount of people. What are some common pitfalls? Well, I think the biggest one is that people do not always understand what a chatbot can do right now, how smart a chatbot is. We see many movies and we get inspired by those movies. We see many movies where bots or AI is taking over the world. Well, we're not there yet. If we're ever gonna get there, I have no idea, but I'm not afraid for it. So that's something you really need to keep in mind, that chatbots are only as smart as the data that is available. That's one of the main common pitfalls. A second one is that as an organization, you want to put a lot of things immediately in your chatbot. That's not the way to go. It's better to focus on specific points. If you talk about a full organization, maybe for one specific department, or for customers wise, one specific topic, and that you also tell your customers. It could be the first message of your chatbot. Hey, I'm Walter, and I can help you with changing your address. That's it. In the next iteration, you can add an extra feature to it, but you keep telling that also to your customers so they know what is coming up. Very important to make that clear to them, because otherwise you will get questions from your customers. Different questions won't answer, and it's going to be a problem. Then it's, this chatbot doesn't work. So don't run in that pitfall. Now I give the platform to you guys, everyone who is watching. If you have any questions, I'll give it a little time. On the chat. We're already very glad you all joined us this morning. Of course, if you want to talk more in detail about specific topics concerning chatbots or other things we do like data engineering and machine learning and so on, please don't hesitate to contact us. You can always reach us at hello@arinti.ai. So we'll still no questions are coming in, so I guess I was clear in my my explanations. So we want to thank you for joining us today. We hope we see you on our next webinar. Nothing is planned yet, but for sure keep following us on LinkedIn and Twitter, and you will notice when something is popping out, or via our newsletter. So I wish you a pleasant afternoon, and we hope to see you soon again. Bye bye.